Hey, welcome back, guys. Nate Barger, your host here. Make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and we are going to show you how to become very wealthy this year. So today we have a deal that was sent in by one of our members of the BRRRR group, which if you're not a member, make sure you go in there and join. He sent us a deal over, and we're not going to disclose the address, but we're going to disclose everything else. It is in zip code 44105. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go into, I've actually found a great website for you, and it's free, bestplaces.net. I want you guys to learn to evaluate all your properties. This is what we're buying, a 10, 20, $50 million deal. We are using similar data, but we're paying thousands of dollars for it. But this right here is really great data, and it's free. So go in, we typed in 44105. Population is 38,000. Median income's 24,114. Median age is 35. Unemployment rate is 6.6. We know that's a little higher. Median home price is 51.9. Really cheap. What happened here? Those houses shouldn't be 51.9. Basic jobs must have left this area, and you had an oversupply of houses because you can't build them for 51.9. So these must be older houses. We're going to dig in all that. But let's look at the population. It dropped 5.2% since 2010. That's a little troubling, but let's dig deeper. Let's go and click on the left, the real estate tab right here. Let's actually not click on that. Let's go down to housing stats. They always want to advertise. Okay, housing stats here. The median cost is 51.9. Home appreciation in the last 10 years is down 3%. Home appreciation in 44105 is up 8.6% in the past year. Okay? The median age is 78 years old. So at one time, this was a blue-collar, booming city. And what happened? The basic jobs left. Probably, more than likely, the politicians ran them out of there. And the people, the unions. So a lot of that happened. Then let's see, renters make up 34.6% of this market, which is good. We like to see a little higher than that. That means there's a lot of home ownership. Or it means that the city owns a lot of it. 4.9% of houses and apartments in Cleveland are available to rent. The median monthly rent by numbers of bedrooms. So look at this here. Now this app saying that a 2-bedroom can get me $710, which isn't bad, especially if figuring I can buy something really cheap. But I don't want to take their word for it. Let me go show you what I use. I use Renometer. So we are going to put in, it said 710 is average for this location. We are going to type in 710 for a 2-bedroom and see this. Bow. Now, I know from using this app, it says your rent is reasonable for your area at 710. Now, I am going to be conservative and use 700. But I think if you renovate this, from what I've seen, what I've done, we're gonna do something. I'm gonna show you something else. I think you can get 750, 775. And you can even push it into the red and probably get 8.25 if you do this place up really nice. The reason why is, let's go through here. I'm gonna back out of this. I'm gonna go back to the best places, and I want to back into this number. So let's go to the job. Let's go to the overview here.
It's 12 o'clock.
It is noon. The median income is 24,114. Let's go to the household income, which would be under job. Economy, maybe? Okay. Has an unemployment rate of 6.6. The U.S. average is 3.7. Future job growth over the next 10 years is 21.4, which is lower than 33.5, which is all not good. But what is good is this thing is super cheap. And one of my major concerns about this property was that it is old and it has box gutters and it has all this old stuff. But they took the box gutters off. I was able to see from the picture. Don't know the age of the roof. We're going to go into some things that we want this guy to look at. Okay, incomes and salaries. Whoa. This is not good. The average income of a resident is $13,883. I'm going to go hire some people from there, man. I got people that work for me overseas that I think make more than that. So let's write this zip code and we're going to send some flyers out, people to work from home. I'm just joking, guys. This is not funny. They need to raise minimum wage for them. Okay, we see where it's at here on the map. Let's go and let's look at crime. Probably. Now, I'll tell you what. One time, I had an area that I knew was crime-ridden, and I looked at it on the map, and I thought, man, if I was a guy buying outside of this area, I would think it was a good area. But I knew there was crime-ridden. The place was crime-ridden, and I mean, it was bad. And so I said, okay, well, I had asked, well, how do they record the data and statistics? And it was the police call. Well, this place was so bad, nobody called the police. So it didn't look like it was a bad area. So be careful when you're buying a place out of town. Make sure you check it. Otherwise, you may have a surprise. Not a good surprise either. Okay, so we're going to go to education stats. Let's just look here for a minute, see if we see something. Okay, they spend $20,000 per student. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. They spend on average $19,984 per student. That can't be right, guys. That can't be right. I know the nicest area in Cincinnati is like Indian Hill, and their spend is $16,000 per student. So I'm going to throw this out. I'm going to say this is not right here. 12.3 is average. Okay, let's go to people stats here. 28% are married. Okay, 15% are divorced. Have children but are single. So if you look at this here, the only thing that really sticks out to me is only 12.3% are married with children. This one here is 21.9% white, 72% black, and 6 or 7% of other. So population of this part is 38,000, 53% female, 50% male, or 46% male. Population in 2010. Okay, let's look at this. The population in 1990 was 57,000, which meant that you add more housing there. And then it dropped to 54,000. Then it dropped to 40,089. So you have people probably moving out here because there's still cheap housing, which is pushing up because we did see that this was projected to grow 8%. 8% growth is really good. Let's jump back over here to, you want to do reviews? No, you don't want to do a review of this place. There are no reviews. We can put one in for the guy and say, it's an awesome area, especially if you invest on this certain street that the guy's buying on. Okay, so okay, guys, here's what we want you to look at. The average family median is 28.7, okay? So here, we're going to back into this number. We got 28.7 times 0.35. They can afford to spend 35%, divide that by 12. That's $837 a month. So the 700, I think you can get higher if you renovate this place. Let me tell you about an area that one of my first places that I ran one of these reports on is an area in Cincinnati. They were renting the 2 bedrooms for $550. This is back 2013, 2014. It was a 96 unit building. 80 of them it had 82 bedrooms and 16 ones. And I came out and said, well, hold on, man. The average median is 41,000, but nobody around there was renting any higher. And I said, man, I want to see if we can get it. So I went in, I cleaned these apartments up, and I got $679 because when I did exactly what I just showed you how to do, I understood that people could afford more. They just never paid more because there was nothing nicer there. And I ended up buying that place for me and a couple partners, $1,450,000. And another thing, there was another offer that came in at $1,750,000 on the deal. We were able to, $1,700,000. We were able to get it $250,000 cheaper because we had a relationship with the broker. The other group was out of Canada. He went back to the bank. He said, I know these guys can close. And he was a dual agent. We didn't bring our own agent. The other group from Canada, guess what? They brought an agent in. So he's only getting half the commission. So he goes and sells us, right? This group that was going to give $250,000 more, he said, I don't know them. I don't know if they can close. I don't feel comfortable. They're from out of the country. They're doing financing. We don't really know how that works. We end up getting the deal for $1,450,000. We end up having $2.2 million in it. We sold it off at an 8 cap. This back then, which now that thing would trade at a 6 cap. We sold that thing off at $3.7 million. We made $1.5 million off of that in 2 years. So you guys make sure you follow me on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Again, guys, I'm going to show you right now. We're showing you really, I want you to know how to do the single family home stuff well. We got a playlist, how to evaluate single family homes. I'm actually, hey, put that up in the description up there. You guys click on that, watch that. We're going to take you all the way through how to become wealthy doing real estate, starting in single family homes, doing the BRRRR method, and showing you how we were able to gravitate up to 20 unit, 50 unit, 100 unit, 500 units, and now we're buying $500 million worth of hotels this year using the BRRRR method with no education, with no rich family. Only thing I had was my good looks and my B&B tonic. That's all you need in life. So, guys, let's continue. I broke down a sheet too because I wanted to show you guys a little bit more about this here. We went in, we figured out what the taxes were. Okay, look at this, guys. Taxes are $1,000 a month, but it's assessed at $32,000. So we know that if we want to buy this building at $40,000, the taxes are going to go up a little bit. They can potentially go up. So make sure you're writing that into your valuation. It's not a big deal here, but let's say that it was assessed at $32,000 and you were to buy it for $100,000. The taxes could triple from $1,000 to $3,000 a year. Make sure you're underwriting. Now, I can't tell you how many people I saw get crushed not doing that. And another thing too, when you find a deal like this, here's a description. Let me just pull up the description for you. Okay. It's a 2-family. Here you see the picture of it. It's got some deferred, it could use windows. The outside paint. Here, look at this here. Some of you guys don't even know what that is. That's an antenna. That's what we used to have to do back before we had cable. I read about it. I ain't that old. And look at the chimney cap. See, they do not have a cap on this chimney here, which means water is coming in down into that. You need to get a cap on that chimney. It's like one of them little groups on there. All this brown stuff needs painted or wrapped in aluminum. You could paint that. You could keep the house this color. You could do a little landscaping, do little nice. This blacktop here needs sealed or it's going to go bad. And let's see here. Back of the house here. Nice, functional. Uh-oh, jackpot. Look at this right here, man. So there's a website that you can use to rent this stuff out. The tenants might want this, but you're like, hey, man, that's not included in the rent. So rent this out. The tenants know you can't have this. Or you rent out, let's say $65 a month. You can go on stash.com, stache.com, It is like an app that you can go on and you can rent space out to a third party for them to park their boat, their car. You know, we looked around in this area. It's about $110 for a garage. So you want to be about 30% under that. But we ran real rough numbers, 45, 50% under that at $65 a month, which is going to give you an extra $2,106 a month. I mean, a year in cash flow at 90% occupancy. So guys, always look for other ways, other things that you can do to make money. Okay, look at this here. So this is, looks like fuses on the left, and on the right maybe a breaker box. Can't really tell. You got the timers on there. A good thing is it's not knob and tube. It has been updated since it was original, but these panels, these need to be changed out because them are fuse panels. More than likely, if you go with a reputable insurance company, they're going to flag that. Okay, so this is being, so you don't have a cold air return going up to the second floor. See this here? So I'm not saying it's terrible, but you're really supposed to have cold air returns, pulling the air down from the unit above, recycling it, recirculating it. This could be a problem because you're not, the way HVAC systems work, guys, and I'll go and explain it because I want you to know. You're supposed to be taking the air out of the unit above, and as you cool the unit or heat the unit above, then you're bringing that temperature up and you're bringing that temperature back the same temperature. This is in the basement, so you're continually bringing cold air into this thing, which means that the furnace is going to run all the time for your tenant. Not necessarily bad for you, but something you need to be aware of, that these were probably put in without permits. I mean, other than that, the plenium work here, it looks like they did a good job on. You got the gas valve here. I would want to see if they had a drip leg in. And again, guys, you see these pipes here? These pipes are new here. Those are your exhaust pipes. You know where them are going? They're going to the chimney. You know what the chimney has coming down it? Water, because it doesn't have a cap on it. So you would want to get that fixed right away. Hot water tanks. These look good here too. Again, can't really tell if it has an expansion tank on it. This here does not have, this is supposed to go, you see this pipe here, guys? This is in case you have the tank over expands. This is a pressure relief valve here. And this is supposed to be within 6 inches of the floor. Because if this thing overheats, it could blow off water. It's supposed to go down to 6 inches of the floor, I believe, is the plumbing code. Could be 2 inches, 2 or 6 inches, been a while. But these probably weren't professionally installed, again, but that's okay. Something else, glass block here, I would probably want to put in my property. These walls here, I would probably want to scrape and seal just to make the basement look good, because more than likely down here, you are going to have a washer and dryer down here in the basement, which is another thing. You could put a coin-operated washer and dryer. You're going to get about another $20 or $30. You could have a company come in and do it, and you're going to get maybe another $60 a month, and you do a split. So you get 30, they get 30. It'll just pay for your water, but it'll be a convenience for the tenant. We've already seen this. It's dated inside, so I wouldn't think that you're going to get, I mean, this price $650, $675, $700, but if you go in, oh, okay, they got washer and dryers in here. Scratch that idea. You know what? Nah, we're going to pull that out. We want this money. Water and sewage is expensive. You get one of these in somebody's unit, and they're not paying the water. Next thing you know, you get a $200 water bill, and you're like, why? And then you come over there to talk to your tenants, and they got their whole family over there washing clothes. Trust me, it happens. Look at this here. This is dated. And this is why, great opportunity. You see in between them two cabinets there, that's the chimney there. I know because I've done so many. Guys, I've done over 3,500 units. I know these houses inside and out. And this right here, I would expose the brick. I would incorporate the countertops around. I would make this place beautiful right here. But again, I would come in and I would put $10,000 in that unit, $10,000 in one above. I'm not afraid to put a little more money into the units because I want a better tenant. The bathtub's nice. I'd get rid of this enclosure here. I'd do new flooring. I would definitely change out this toilet, which is a 3.5 gallon toilet, which is going to cost you $187 per unit per year. And I can get that cost all the way down to $65 by changing out. Watch my other videos. Matter of fact, we got a video. I'm going to show you how I changed out toilets and got a Lamborghini. Yes, it's true. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. So that toilet right there, man, that thing is just, man, it lived through a lot, man. That's an old toilet. That's like a 1940, 1950 toilet, man. I'd get rid of that because I know that is money right there. Look at this toilet here. Is that the same one? I got two pictures of the same bathroom. Oh, they got a blurry one. Then they got a clean version. See, that's how you know the realtor didn't even care. It was like, man, just throw them both in there. All right, so we're back to the beginning, guys. Overall, the guy can pick this up for $40,000. It's in an area where you have high unemployment. Let's look at this chart here I put together. I'm going to use 8% appreciation per year because this is happening in a lot of your urban cores. You have people that are migrating to cheap cities to live in. Cleveland is very, very friendly for people that are looking for cheaper places. Check this out, though. I put this together for you, Ryan, 44105. And I'm going to tell you something else I did, from my experience, what I was able to find for you. And then I'm going to go through some of the things I think you should be cautious on approaching. Okay. So the initial market value, I think, if you renovate this place, make it nice. I'm talking new cabinets, new countertops, put 10 grand a unit in it. You pick it up for 40. You have 60 in it. It's going to be worth 75,000. But more than that, you're going to have great cash flow. So let's see what that looks like. You're going to buy it cash. You're going to fix it up cash. You're going to go back to the bank, and you're going to have an initial market value of 75. I think it could even go higher because I saw some over there selling for 100 renovated. But we're going to be very conservative and say it was 75. You go get 80%. You got all your cash back. The way you're going to do that is you are going to charge retail prices because the bank's going to see that you have some money in. So when you take it to them, you're going to show them a list of the repairs, and you're not going to show them that you changed out a toilet and it cost $110. It costs $250. You're not going to show them that you did the flooring and it costs $4 a square foot. It costs $8 a square foot. It's retail pricing. You're not going to show them that you painted the unit and it cost, $700. And guys, we're working diligently to get us a group code to where all you guys can go to Home Depot and get massive savings, or Lowe's. I think Home Depot is the one that we kind of were getting a lot of people chiming in earlier. So we're here to help you out and save you money, not just on your day-to-day, but on your renovations. And we're coming up with a calculator too that's going to be amazing. This is a decent calculator, but this one's $80 for this one. And I'm actually going to develop one because this one doesn't have everything in it that you need, and it's going to be cheaper than that too. So we got Khalid working on that. He said it'll probably be done by tomorrow. Probably not, but it'll be done sometime. So the initial market value we had is $70,000. Cash back from lender, we're gonna say you got nothing. Now look, monthly rent of $1,400, $16,800 annually. I use a 7% vacancy loss because this area has a 4.8% vacancy, but you also have what's called economic vacancy. That means that it's not really vacant, but they ain't paying you. That means you need to evict them. So we got expenses in here, advertising, cleaning and maintenance, because it is, you're going to have to do the cleaning on the outside. Let's add in, I forgot to add in the landscaping. Landscaping is going to be for what? / snow removal. Okay. So landscaping is $40 a month. I don't know how the heck he's getting that done for $40 a month. Okay, so landscaping is $40 a month. You have your, wait, hold on. Back up. We're going to start over. Okay, so we broke down all the expenses so you guys can get a better idea. We saw some videos. I mean, some people submit some stuff, and you're not submitting good stuff. And I don't want to see you buying it and not having everything in there. So we got $25 a month for advertising, $27 a month for cleaning, which is low, but say you get that to your tenant just to pick the trash up around the property. Insurance is $100 a month, $1,200 a year. Legal and professional fees, $500. That is going to be for your attorney, for your evictions that you are going to have. So I just want you to budget for them. And your taxes every year, $500 a month. Maybe a little high, but I'd rather budget high than low to make sure this deal works. Management fees, we're just running a flat 10%, which we know the guy who's doing this saying, hey, I'm going to manage it myself. We also want to make sure that if you scale and get big enough, that you're not just buying a deal and it's working just because you're working for free. And then when you go to sell it, people are going to want that discounted. I want to train you guys to start looking at this stuff the way we look at commercial stuff. That way you'll slide right into it and there won't be any adjustments coming from single family and duplexes and fourplexes to 50 units. You'll be right there. You'll be able to scale in no time. Your repairs, $100, which is $50 per unit per month, which is $1,200. Taxes actually are, let's say, a fixed amount. They are $1,000 a year, roughly, and they could go up, but it won't be much. So taxes are $1,000 a year. Utilities are $120 a month because you are going to pay for the water and sewage and trash. And when a unit goes vacant, you are going to have to pay for the electric and gas in that unit for the short time it's vacant. So we calculated 21.9 days of vacancy per year based off 7%. And then we ran real. I just break everything down to micro, guys. This, people always say, well, how do you budget it? Look, do the numbers, do the math. Break everything down to square feet. Turnovers, $75 a month. That's $900 a year. You're going to have about 30% attrition in this area, which means that you are going to lose 30% of your tenants a year. So it means that these tenants are going to stay on average a little over 3 years. How do I know that? Because of the area. It's a C class, C minus. People don't move in them areas as much. They tear your stuff up when they do move, but they don't move as much. Your reserves, you got to have reserves. If you're not budgeting for reserves, your property is going to come to you one day. It's going to say, hey, Nate, how you doing? Hey, who are you? Well, I'm your property and I need a roof. You're like, what you mean you need a roof, man? When I bought the property, the roof was already new. And he's like, yeah, Nate, but you bought me 8 years ago. And I wasn't new. They just told you I was new. I was actually 13 years old. I was a teenager. So he's going to come knock in and you need the reserves. Your landscaping, $40 a month. So your operating expenses are $10,342 a year. Your NOI is $5,282 and your mortgage payment is $3,437. Your cash flow is $154 a month, but then you also have your principal reduction. So let's see what your principal reduction looks like. Okay. So here, okay. So let's go to your projections. Here is what really matters, guys. All that did was allow you to hang on to the property. And anybody that tells you that they're renting a property out for $1,000 a month and they're making $500, they're not. What they're not doing is they're not setting aside reserves. They're not paying themselves for management fees. They're not setting aside turnovers. They're blending all their money together. And then when them big expenses come, they just figure out how to pay for it. I don't want you to do that. I want you to have steady income. You're pulling out of this property every month. And then you got your principal reduction. Then you got your appreciation going up. You got your debt going down. You got your rent going up. And you have your cost start going up just a little, but not as much because you did a fixed 25 or 30-year rate. So when you get them working in sequence, guys, I want you to think about that. Money going up, amount you owe going down. That's your net worth is growing every month. So you have year 7, your gross rent It's 20,000. Your vacancy loss 1,400. We adjusted all your expenses. Your net operating is 6,903. Your cap rate based off purchase price is 17.3. Cap rate based off market value, don't pay that any attention. That's why I don't like this calculator. Return on equity is a 4.5 because it doesn't matter what you paid for it. It's not like I could rent it out in that condition. Return on equity is 4.5. So that is 4.5% return. This thing's skewed because we don't even have any equity in it. We don't even have any money. Equity is what's called money. But here is where you made your money. The market value is at 128, 537. You paid your loan down to 51,000. You got 76,000 in equity. You're gonna have a potential cash out refi of 51.1, or you can sell it. If you sell it, you're gonna have 76,901 in equity because it's gonna be worth 128. You're gonna have selling cost of 5,141. Proceeds after the sale of $71,000. I want you to go buy 20 of these in that area if you can make sure that the population is not dipping anymore. If it's dipping, then we may have to look a little bit further. But overall, I like it. It's well below rebuild cost. Based off what I'm seeing with the market values going up, it looks like the population is tapered off and is not losing population anymore. This could be a great investment for you. Here's what we did for you, man. We went in and we found the owner of this property. He did give us the address, which we're not going to disclose to you guys. And since I bought so many properties like this, we went in and we found this guy has 3 properties total in Cuyahoga County. So we want you to go in there and we want you to talk to the realtor. I don't want you to use your realtor. I want you to use the realtor that had this listed. I want you to build a relationship with him or her. And I'm telling you, man, this is how I've got deals. I got deal flow all the time. Realtors, it doesn't hit the market. If it says sold before sent, you know who bought it? Guys like me. Because you know why? They're going to say, Nate, got a property. It's hot. I'm listing it tomorrow. If you want to get by there today and have me an offer today, then I'll accept the offer. I'll get an offer accepted and it'll be sold before sent. And everybody will say, man, I always keep getting beat out. Why do I get beat out? Well, one of the ways you can keep from getting beat out is you go direct to the source. What's his motivation? His motivation is he wants to represent the buyer and the seller. He wants to get the dual commission. So you don't care about the commission. Even you realtors out here that are trying to do deals and trying to get your commission deals. I mean, that's great if you can do them, but man, focus on the deal. That's where the money is. And if you have to give up the commission, let another guy get that. You want the deals. Bring me the deals. I don't care about the commission. And then they'll bring you more deals. Go to him. You already know this owner does not mind paying commission because he listed this. See if you can get the other 2. And here's what you do. You come in and you say, hey, look, here's what I want to do. And I'm just giving you an idea how we structure stuff. I know you got all cash you're paying for this, but I don't know if you can pay cash for all of them. So why don't you go to the owner and say, hey, here's what I want to do. I want to buy these properties off of you. I want you to finance them for me. I'm going to pay the realtor the commission at closing, or you're going to pay them. I'm going to bring $50,000 down and you're going to finance all 3 of these and I'll give you full asking price. That's leverage. Or you could just negotiate it down if you got the cash. Now you own 3 of his buildings, all 3 of his buildings. And it looks like they could have tremendous value in them. So this deal right here, it looks like a really good deal. Again, I just want you to do that one last piece of research. And let me see if there's any other day. Let me just go into this area here. I want to look at a couple other things here. So look at this. It's just north of Harvard Avenue. Wow. Okay, so here's what we have over here. I'm trying to figure out what part. This is like in South Cleveland, out by Newburgh Heights. So I don't really know that area well. Let me just go back and look at the crime rate over here real quick. Okay, here's what it says. Crime is ranked on a scale of 1 to 100. So the 44105, it says it's so violent you can get shot just asking about how violent it is. Look, guys, it's bad. It's 85.2. The U.S. average is 22.7. That means out of 100,000 people, 85 of them are going to be victims of violent crime. 85.2. And then property crimes are right up there the same. So let's see how that compares to the rest of Cleveland. I mean, look, man, if you're boots on the ground and you live there, you know, I mean, go for it, man. I'm telling you, I bought in some of these war zone areas. But what I like to see is what is going to change the area. So I want to go back. I want to look at some filter. I want to go to satellite view on map. I want to see if there's anything around here that we can see. See, there's nothing but houses around here. It looks like you have a school here, really nice school too, which based off of the data that we had, there was something wrong. There's no way the average student over here is 20,000 unless you had a big school and nobody shows up for it. I mean, that could be, you know, if you only got 30 or 40% of the kids showing up, then it could be, man. I mean, that's I've never seen that before. But over here you have something. Just looks like that. Okay, that's the school. I mean, there's nothing out here, man. There's no jobs. There's no, you know, just there's no expensive houses. There's just block after block after block after block. Me, myself, I would look for somewhere else to invest. But, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is a bad investment. It's not. I mean, you got a bunch of industry over here that may be defunct. It may still be here. You still got rail cars in there. But look at this pile of coal here. Wow, and then you got a golf course next to a pile of coal. Look at that. But you got a golf course here. And I don't understand this here. You got Fleet Avenue. You got a beautiful golf course. And then you still have cheap houses around the golf course. Look at this here. Let's go look at this house. 89 grand. Just, man, it's so overbuilt. There's so many houses here, and the population is just. So I think, you know, if you like the deal, I told you what I can tell you. I say go for it. Low barrier to enter. Great, you know, good cash on cash return. Even though it doesn't look so great on paper, keep in mind you have no money in the deal. You have $200 a month in positive cash flow. And you have another $100 a month in principal reduction, but you're really banking on your appreciation. Here's why appreciation is so important, guys. In 10 years, man, if you're hanging on to that thing, he's going to need some money. And if you didn't appreciate in value, how are you going to fix the stuff that needs fixed in there? You need to appreciate. That's why the basic jobs are the key fundamental to being a successful investor. One of the things you should be looking at here and spend the money, go on Amazon and buy you a camera for $500. It's a sewer camera. Or you can call a company up and they're going to charge you $300 to go down there. I would get my own camera. You want to go into the main line, the 3-inch, 4-inch sewer line, and you want to push that out all the way to the street. You had clay pipes, 3 feet clay pipes going all the way to the street. You want to make sure that's not broken. If that's broken, you want to budget $5,000 to fix that. You want to look at the roof. What's the age of the roof? You want to look at the water line coming in the house out down in the basement where it hooks to the meter, or if the meter's not inside where it comes in, you want to scratch that line. You want to make sure it's not a lead line. If it's a lead line, you know that's going to be a $3,000 to $6,000 cost. And a lot of these cities are coming through and replacing them. That's your responsibility to replace. They will do an assessment on it in Hamilton County, but I don't know up there. They may say, hey, you got to pay for this. How are you going to come up with that money? Your blacktop, you got to seal the blacktop. You got some, seal that every couple of years. That's, $500, whatever. Make sure you're doing that because that blacktop to replace all that's about $2 a square foot. And you probably got 50, 60, 70 by 10. You got 700 square feet. And then you got in back, you probably got 1,300 square feet, which is, a $3,000. You also have some landscaping you want to do out there, but make sure you're looking at the brick, the chimney up there, make sure it's not falling apart. Make sure the B vent goes all the way up through there. That's the clay terracotta pipe inside. If that's compromised, you're going to have to get inside and fix that. And a lot of times, if those are broken, what we do is we get rid of the furnaces and the hot water tanks. Now, we got hourly guys that can do this cheap, but I'll put in high efficiency and just get rid of tear the chimney down below the roof line and just plywood it and put new, fix the roof on top of it sometimes. So those are all options. Also, your main water lines and sewer stacks in the house, you want to look at them. The box gutters are off. So those are some of the expensive items you want to look at. The windows, you probably got $6,000, $7,000 worth of windows to put in there, which you may want to consider, but only if that area is improving. So I hope that was helpful, guys. You guys make sure that you comment below. We're here to answer any of your questions. And if you have a deal to submit to us, submit it below. And we will choose a deal. We will choose somebody's deal every week, and we'll do a full analysis. And our hope by doing this, guys, is that you begin to get this stuff and know it so well. Then we're going to take you to commercial. We're going to show you how to do commercial property, and that's a total game changer. I told you I got a video to show you how I bought this Lamborghini, man. Oh, man, this thing's beautiful. But how did we buy that Lamborghini? We were able to buy it by changing out toilets and doing an energy audit. So make sure you subscribe, click on the bell, hit the like button, and comment below. We're here to help you out and answer your question. And we're going to be having in our BRRRR Invest, we'll go live every week and answer all your questions. We want to make sure you didn't make the same mistakes that I made. And we want to accelerate your growth into the future and see you become very successful. Tomorrow, actually, we got one of my friends coming over who was broke in 2012. He is a real estate millionaire now. And he came to me and, I kind of mentored him a little bit. He still calls me with questions from time to time, but I'm very proud of him. And you'll see him tomorrow. Just carefree guy. He's one of those guys just like, yeah, whatever, And so if he can do it, I can do it, you can do it. So tune in. We'll see you guys soon.